You eligible for a government grant? The answer might surprise you. Let's find out what you're eligible for and how you can get it. There are legitimate government grants out there, and I've got a list. I'm going to go over that with you in just a moment, but first, it is so important that you know how to stay safe out there. Government grant scams are ridiculously common. I found hundreds of them while I was researching this list, and they're out there targeting people who need help. So before I tell you about all the legit government grant programs I found, I want to make sure that you understand 3 critical truths that can protect you and keep you safe from scammers. First, legit government agencies are never going to call you out of the blue and tell you that you're eligible for a grant. That would be amazing, but these agencies are overworked and understaffed, and they simply don't have time for that. But scammers are clever, and they've figured out how to trick your caller ID into making it look like you're calling from a legitimate government agency. They'll ask you for information or money, and instead of getting help, you'll only end up getting hurt. In 2020 alone, U.S. residents lost more than $445 million to these kinds of scams. So please be skeptical whenever you get a call out of the blue about a government grant or free government money or something else that sounds too good to be true. These programs do exist, but they're hard to find, and they're not going to be handed to you without any effort on your part. In just a few minutes, I will show you the legit programs I found and what you need to do to get help. Second, most government grants are set aside for specific purposes. If you're offered a grant with no eligibility requirements and no strings attached, odds are it's a scam. It is exceptionally rare to find a legitimate grant or giveaway that doesn't have some sort of eligibility or use requirements. Unfortunately, that old adage of, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, applies here. Third, you'll never have to pay money to receive a legitimate government grant. Often, scammers will ask you to send a MoneyGram or gift cards in order to receive the grant. Please do not ever fall for this. According to the FTC, no government agency will ever contact you to demand that you pay to get a grant, and no government agency will ever ask you to pay with a gift card, cash reload card, by money transfer, or with cryptocurrency. Not for a grant, and not ever. That is a direct quote from the FTC, which is a government organization. Not for a grant, and not ever. Nevertheless, desperate people do desperate things. And when you really need help, it's hard to resist that urge to do whatever it takes to get the help that you need. And that's why more than 40,000 customers lost more than $148 million in gift cards to scammers in the first 9 months of 2021 alone. That's an average of almost $4,000 per person that was scammed. Please don't ever pay to receive a grant, especially if you're asked to pay in a weird payment method like iTunes gift cards. If you think someone is impersonating a government official or offering fake government grants, you can report them. Call the HHS fraud hotline at 1-800-447-8477 or by emailing support@grants.gov. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about a few legitimate, vetted, fact-checked government programs that you might be eligible for. First, I want to talk to you about the Community Development Block Grant. The CDBG program is designed to support community development, which can include all sorts of wonderful things, like utility bill assistance, home repair grants, homeowner assistance, rent relief, and more. It all depends on how your local governments and agencies decide to spend these funds. And that's where all this gets complicated. The CDBG grants are given by the federal U.S. government to each individual state. The states then disperse those funds to smaller local governments like cities and counties and other charitable organizations that offer help directly to the people. In order to get help from a CDBG grant, you'll have to follow the money down to the organizations that actually help low-income individuals and families. And there are a lot of ways that these government grants can help you. Community development block grants are used to fund things, like I said, like home repair grants, housing rehabilitation, homeowner assistance, utility assistance, rent relief, and more. Basically, these funds are used to sustain and improve communities around the United States. For some of the ways that the Community Development Block Grant can help you, Check out our lists at lowincomerelief.com/power or lowincomerelief.com/free-home-repair-grants. A lot of the programs we report on at Low Income Relief are funded by CDBG grants. Second, I hear from a lot of frustrated seniors and disabled adults who feel like they're always left out of government grants because they don't have young kids. However, there are special cash programs for people who are older, disabled, or blind that may be able to help provide cash to people who don't otherwise qualify for programs like TANF. These programs are known by many names depending on what state you live in. This program is sometimes called ABD Cash Assistance or Aid to the Aged, Blind, and Disabled. In Alaska, it's called Adult Public Assistance. In Iowa, it's called State Supplementary Assistance. It just depends on your state. But regardless of what this is called, this program provides a monthly cash payment to eligible people who meet age and/or disability requirements, as well as income requirements. In some cases, it's considered a supplementary cash payment given to people who already receive SSI. In Washington State, the monthly cash grant for their ABD program is up to $197 for an individual or $248 for a couple. It's not a lot, but it helps. I was able to confirm that there are cash grant benefits available to the aged, blind, and/or disabled in Alaska, Colorado, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. It may be available in other states as well. Those are just the ones I was able to confirm. Third, let's talk about TANF and diversion grants. These are two parts of the same program, which is intended to help low-income families with children who are experiencing financial difficulties. TANF stands for Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, and it's a cash grant program administered by the states. Eligible families receive an average of $447 per month from this program for up to 60 months or 5 years. The money is sent on an EBT card every single month, the same EBT card that can be used if you're getting food benefits from the SNAP program. If you've heard of EBT Cash, that's usually TANF. TANF is available in every state, but the program can differ significantly between states. In some states like Washington, you may be able to get a diversion grant instead of TANF. Diversion cash assistance is a short-term alternative to TANF. So instead of receiving a small grant every single month, you'll receive a larger grant all at once to help you meet an emergency or crisis need. This can be useful if you're facing an expensive car repair, move-in costs like a security deposit, or another emergency expense. In Washington, the grant is limited to $1,250 per year. The amount you'll receive, the eligibility requirements, and the terms do vary by state. According to urban.org, there are 32 areas with diversion programs in place. Those include Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Minnesota, Missouri, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, Washington, D.C., West Virginia, and Wisconsin. As a kid, I would not have believed how much time I spend alphabetizing state lists. Fourth, federal Pell Grants are available for low-income students who are pursuing a higher education. You could receive up to $6,895 per year for up to 6 years. That's a total of $41,370 that never has to be paid back as long as you meet the program requirements. In some cases, you can receive up to 150% of the Pell Grant, which would be $10,342.50 per year or $62,055 over the 6-year total. That's a lot of money. You can apply for a Pell Grant when you complete a FAFSA or free application for federal student aid form. You need to be pursuing a college education in order to get a Pell Grant, and the money will be sent directly to your school. The money will be used towards your school costs, and any excess will be sent back to you. If you qualify for other assistance or you're getting student loans, you may be able to receive even more money back. We have an article on our website about how one of our contributors, Amelia, actually made money going to college. It's a fascinating read, and I highly recommend it. Fifth, LIHEAP. LIHEAP stands for the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, and this program can pay up to $1,000 towards your utility bills. It's funded by federal grants, which are passed to states, and then other organizations who can pay your utility provider on your behalf. You're not going to get cash from LIHEAP, but you can get help with your heating and cooling costs through this program, which can free up the cash you do have for other needs. 6th, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. This program provides a monthly grant to help you purchase groceries. The money is deposited onto an electronic benefits card or EBT card, which can only be used to purchase eligible food items at approved retailers and farmers markets. If you get EBT benefits, make sure you check out our other videos because we have a lot of EBT secrets and hacks. In fact, if you have EBT, you should just subscribe right now. 7th, Medicaid. This program provides free healthcare for low-income people across the United States. The money is paid directly to your medical provider on your behalf, and although you won't receive cash outright, this is basically a medical grant that is paid on your behalf. Of course, there are many other assistance programs available that may be able to help you. Low Income Relief is here to help you navigate these complex benefit programs so that you can get the help you need. Don't forget to check out our other video on how to get hardship grants.